Hi, boys and girls. For part of Writer's Workshop today, you're going to have the chance to listen to a book by Daniel Kirk, which is called Library Mouse. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Library Mouse by Daniel Kirk. For my friends at the Glen Ridge Library, the kids at Glen Acre School, and all the librarians and teachers whose joy it is to help discover a world of imagination through reading and writing. Sam was a library mouse. His home was in a little hole in the wall behind the children's reference books, and he thought that life was very good indeed. Oh, boys and girls, can you imagine if you lived in the library? Wow, a lot of books would be in your place, a lot of books in your house. Every day when the library was full of people walking up and down the aisles, studying, checking out books, and working on the computer, Sam was curled up in his little hole, sound asleep. Every night, when the people went home and the room was dark and quiet, the library belonged to Sam. Boys and girls, this is a little science trivia question for you. Do you know what it's called when an animal sleeps all day and stays awake all night, like a bat? If you thought of the word nocturnal, you are correct. So Sam is nocturnal. And every night Sam read, and he read, and he read. Sam read picture books and chapter books. He read biographies and poetry, cookbooks and sport books, fairy tales and ghost stories, and mysteries by the dozen. Sam's mind was filled with facts and information and images of faraway places, and his imagination brimmed over with wonder and fantasy. One night, Sam decided that it was time he wrote a book of his own. Sam folded over some little squares of paper he took from the librarian's desk to make the pages. Then he found a pencil that had rolled underneath the shelf, and he began to write. Write what you know. Sam had read in a book about writing. So Sam wrote about being a mouse. He drew the pictures for his book by posing in his little mirror and then sketching what he saw. Sam worked very, very hard, and finally his first book was done. He called it Squeak, A Mouse's Life, and he wrote on the cover words and pictures by Sam. He went to the autobiography section of the library, and he tucked his first book onto the shelf. Then he went back to his little hole in the wall and waited. And boys and girls, when we learn about genres in Reader's Workshop, you'll learn all about biographies and autobiographies and other different types of books you could find in a library. The next afternoon, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a girl whose teacher had sent her to the library to do a book report. "I've never seen anything like this before," said the librarian, and she put Squeak, A Mouse's Life on her desk. Later, she showed it to the other librarians. Oh, they seemed to like it, boys and girls. The librarians all seemed to be smiling. I wonder if your school librarian would like Squeak, A Mouse's Life. Sam decided to write another book. It was called The Lonely Cheese, and working on the book made him feel very hungry. It was a good thing that he always found so many crumbs to eat by the trash basket in the hallway. When he had finished the illustrations, Sam scurried to the picture book section and proudly placed his latest book on the shelf. Then he went back to his little hole in the wall and waited. The next morning, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a little boy who was looking for a big book about trucks. "It's just another book by Sam," said the librarian. Just who is this Sam, she thought to herself, and put The Lonely Cheese on her desk. Later, she showed it to the children at story time. Sam decided to write a chapter book. It was called The Mystery of Mouse Mansion, and it gave Sam goosebumps when he wrote down the scary parts. The full moon was shining down through the windows on the darkened library when Sam crept over to the mystery section and sneakily placed his book on the shelf. Then he went back to his little hole in the wall and waited. The next day, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a teenager who was looking for a good creepy book to read before bed. "We've got to find out who this Sam is," said the librarian. "I'll leave a note on the bulletin board and tell him that I would like to meet our new author." She put The Mystery of Mouse Mansion on her desk, and later she showed it to the writing class that came in after school. That night, Sam found the note. It read, and boys and girls, we will read this note in the second part.